Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today for this bralette tutorial I will be using two colors. My first color, my main color, is going to be from Yarn Bee Secret Soft in the color Mushroom. It is a medium weight 4 yarn, and then my accent color is going to be the same type of yarn in the color Biscuit. You'll also need a measuring tape, a pair of scissors, and there's a few options here. I do recommend for this tutorial to use a D hook, which is 3.25 millimeters. If you don't have that one, you can use an E hook, which is 3.5 millimeters, and if you don't have either, you can use an F hook, but the smaller hook is better. So I'm going to use the D hook. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The thing you're going to want to do is find your measurement under your bust. So go ahead and measure under your bust with your measuring tape. And then the second measurement you'll need is around the shoulders, because you need to make sure that this is going to fit like over your head. So get those two measurements, and once you have those, we're going to start with our main color by first just making a slip knot. And we are going to go ahead, for all sizes, go ahead and chain out 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain one more for a turning chain, and then we're going to just put single crochets across the 4 chains we just made. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so it's a pretty thin, we're just going to make a pretty thin ribbing here. So go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work, and then we're going to do back loop only single crochets. So instead of going through both loops on the V, we're going to go through the back loop only and do single crochets. And 4. Go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. And we're going to continue just doing back loop single crochets, 4 of them at a time, 4 of them in every row. Chain 1, turn your work, and continue with your back loop single crochets. And 4. Chain 1 and turn your work. And so basically we're going to continue this pattern until this is able to stretch wide enough to fit over your shoulders. Okay, so my shoulders were 42 and my under my bust is 33, so it'll fit under my bust, but I need to make sure it'll stretch for the bigger measurement, which is 42, around my shoulders. So continue this pattern and I'll meet you back and show you what to do after that. Okay, so I finished my band and it is about 25.5 inches long, but when I stretch it, it will reach over my shoulders, so I can fit it over my head or my shoulders. So anyway, once this can stretch out to be long enough to go around your shoulders, what you want to do next is we're going to crochet these two sides together, the two ends together. So the way we're going to do that is go ahead and put them together so that your working yarn with a loop on it is on your side and going in the direction of your the way that you crochet. So if you're left-handed, it would be on the other side. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take our first end and put our hook into the first stitch of that row, and then take your hook and put it into the first stitch of the other row on the opposite end, and just make sure that you're not twisted. Once you have those together, we're going to go ahead and single crochet. So pull up a loop and single crochet. Then we're going to go into the second stitch of both sides, so hit that second stitch on both sides, and then pull up a loop and then single crochet. Insert into the third on both sides, pull up a loop, and single crochet. And finally, the fourth stitch, go ahead and insert. This one's kind of tight. Oh well. Insert into the fourth stitch on both sides, pull up a loop and single crochet. There we go. And now your band is together. So I'm gonna flip this seam here on the inside. Make sure that's on the inside, and now we're going to be working on the outside clean side. Okay, so from here what I'm going to do is put one single crochet in on top of every row here, on the side of every row. So I'm going to chain one and just start single crocheting one per row. And it's kind of easy to tell every ridge, like between every ridge is 2 rows. So you can kind of tell where the new row is. And I try to put the single crochets in the same location so that it kind of looks uniform. But yeah, that's all we're doing for this next step. So just continue single crocheting along this top portion, and I will meet you at the end of the row and show you what's next. Alright, so I made my way all the way around with single crochets, so I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into this very first single crochet of the row. Like that, and that's the end of this row. So next what we're going to do is start on our cups, and we're going to do that by doing half double crochets. So if you are an A cup, you're going to need to do 27 half double crochets. If you're a B cup, it'll be 29. A C cup is 31. A D cup is 33. And a double D cup is 35. So we're going to go ahead and chain one, and then we're going to just go ahead and start doing our half double crochets. So yarn over, insert your hook into the same or the next chain space if that one was tight. Mine was pretty tight. And pull up a loop and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Again, yarn over, insert into the next chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. So we're going to continue this pattern and do as many half double crochets as recommended for your bra cup size, and I will meet you at the end of this row and show you what's after that. So once you complete the amount of half double crochets for your desired size, go ahead and chain one. Oh, I already did, and turn your work. And from here we're just going to do one more row of half double crochets. So I did 33 half double crochets, so I'm just going to go along this row with 33 more half double crochets. So go ahead and complete this row for the amount of half double crochets for your size, and I will show you what's after that. Okay, so I completed my second row of 33 half double crochets. So now I'm going to chain one and turn my work. From here I'm going to start decreasing. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into the first stitch, pull up a loop, insert into the second stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and now I have, before I yarn over, I should have 4 loops on my hook. So yarn over and pull through all 4, and that is our first decrease. So from here we're going to continue doing regular half double crochets in the middle of the cup, and we're going to continue this until we have just 2 stitches left in this row. So I will meet you there and show you how to finish the row. Alright, so I'm at the end of my row and I just have 2 stitches left here. So I'm going to go ahead and do my second decrease. So yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, pull up a loop, insert into the last stitch of the row, pull up a loop, and now you have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. From there, go ahead and chain one and turn your work. And now you should have 2 less stitches than when you started. So now in this row I have 31 stitches because I started with 33. And in this row, we're going to just go across with regular half double crochets. So for me, it'll be 31 half double crochets. So that's all we're doing for this row, all the way down. So go ahead and complete this row and I'll show you what's after that. Alright, so I completed my next row of 31 half double crochets, so I'm going to go ahead and chain one and turn my work. And now we're going to do decreases again. So yarn over, insert into the first stitch of the row, pull up a loop, insert into the second stitch of a row, pull up a loop, and now you have 4 loops on your hook, and yarn over and pull through all 4. Okay, and then from there we're going to do regular half double crochets in the middle until we have 2 stitches left, and then I'll show you what to do at the end of the row. All right, so I have 2 stitches left in the row, so I'm going to go ahead and do my next decrease. So yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, pull up a loop, insert into the last stitch of the row, and pull up a loop, and now you have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4. And from here we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And in this row we're going to go ahead and do just half double crochets straight across. So in this row for me I will have 29 half double crochets. So go ahead and finish this row and I'll show you what's next. Okay, so I completed my row of regular 29 half double crochets, and now I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. So basically this pattern is going to repeat. We're going to do 1 decreasing row and then 1 row straight across. So in this next row we're going to go ahead and put a decrease here first. So yarn over, insert into the first stitch, pull up a loop, insert into the second stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook, and then do your regular half double crochets in the middle. And in the next row we're going to just do regular half double crochets straight across, so it's every other row. And we're going to continue this pattern until we have just 3 stitches in our row. All right, so I will meet you there and show you what's next. Okay, so I continued crocheting until I had 3 stitches left in this row. So the next thing I wanted to do was to count the stitches here. So I did 33 stitches for the base of this first cup, so I went ahead and counted out 33 stitches here so that I can know where I want my second cup to be. And mine includes this middle chain here. I'm going to use that in this second cup. You don't have to, but that's just how I'm doing it. And or you can, the other option is just to use the next stitch over. I'm going to put it in the same one that I used here. So this is the end of my second cup here. And then I also wanted to measure out where I wanted my straps to attach. So I counted how many stitches I had left besides the cups, and I actually had 80, which was pretty cool to have an even number randomly like that. But I just went on ahead and divided it by 4, and I counted in 20 stitches from the sides of the cup. I counted 20 stitches over and marked that off. And I'm going to put my straps on these 2 pieces here. And so let's get started on our first strap since our working yarn is still on there. Okay. So in order to know how long I wanted my strap to be, I had to put this bra cup up against myself, and from there I measured around to see how long I wanted it to be. And mine came out to 17.5 inches. So what we're gonna do is kind of do the same ribbing, but we're only gonna do it in rows of 3. And we're gonna crochet until the strap is can stretch to the measurement that we wanted. Okay, so we're gonna do another ribbing stitch here. So go ahead, and you're on your row with just the 3 stitches here. Go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. And now we're going to do one row of regular single crochets. So it's just 3 single crochets here. And you want to pay attention to this time how many rows that you do, because you're going to have to repeat this. So you might want to write down how many rows you do. And I'm actually going to mark this first row off just so I know that that's the beginning of where my single crochets are, and I can count pretty easily. But from there, go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. And now we're going to do back loop only single crochets so that we get a nice ribbing here, just like we did at the bottom. And it's only a row of 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. And then we're going to do 3 more back loop only single crochets. 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 1 and turn your work. 2 and 3, chain 1 and turn your work. And we're just going to continue this pattern for our strap until it can stretch out long enough to your desired strap length. And you just want to be careful not to make it too short, because if it's too short, your band that goes under the breast is going to raise up in the back. And if you make it too long, of course it'll be too loose and not secure. So if you're going to pick one, it would be better for it to be slightly longer than shorter, because shorter is going to make it like not secure at all. Okay, but go ahead and continue this pattern until it can stretch out long enough to your desired strap length, and then I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so I finished my string, my strap, and mine's ended up being 59 rows, and that came out to be unstretched. Unstretched, it came out to be 11.5 inches, and it'll stretch out into how long I need it to be. So once you have your strap, you can actually attach this quickly to the bottom and try it on and see if you like it before you commit. But once you have it long enough for yourself, we're going to go ahead and attach it to the back side. So I'm just going to flip it over here and pull my string back, or my strap back. And you also want to make sure, or you don't have to, if your working piece, your working loop is on the other side of this, then you're just going to start with 1, 2, 3. You're going to start here. If it's on the same side, then you just attach it here. Okay, so you want to get it so that you are on the inside of this piece to make your seam. So the way to do that is to flip it inside out, and this is the inside. Oops. So we're going to have it sitting together like that, and then we're going to flip it inside out like that. So now it's kind of on the inside here. So once you have them together on the inside, we're going to insert our hook into the first stitch that we're attaching it to, and insert our hook into the working loop, and go ahead and pull that loop through. Okay. So now I have them into the same relative stitch, and I'm just going to chain one here. Okay. From there I'm going to insert into the second stitch and the second stitch of the strap and pull it through and slip stitch. Oops, look like I got something stuck on there. So pull through one side and then pull through the second side and then slip stitch. And then we're going to do one more, insert into the third stitch and the last stitch of your strap, yarn over and pull through both sides and then slip stitch and then chain one and tie off. Okay, so that way your seam is on the inside instead of on the outside. If it's easier for you, you can put it on the outside. It won't really be too visible anyway. So yeah, now it's attached to the back, and what we're going to do next is just repeat this same pattern that we did for this cup and this strap, the same amount of rows and the same amount of stitches we're going to repeat here. So I'm going to tie a new string, and I'm using this middle chain here, so I'm going to insert my hook and just tie a knot. And just tie a regular double knot. And reinsert my hook into the same stitch. Pull up a loop. Pull up a loop. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a half double crochet in this first stitch in the same stitch. And pull through all three. Sorry guys, this yarn I'm using is so pretty, but it does split a lot. But it's so pretty. Okay, half double crochet, and then I'm going to continue down this row with half double crochets, and basically this is just repeating the same steps that we did for the first cup. So if you need to, go ahead and rewind the video and redo your cup the same way that you did before, and redo your strap and attach the same way you did before. So once you get your second cup finished, I will meet you there and I'll show you what's next. Okay, so I finished my second strap, and now I am on the inside. It's already inside out, and I just wanted to show you this because it's on the opposite end, so my tail is not on the same side as my stitch marker. So I'm just gonna pick the third chain away, so that's 1, 2, 3. So it's the same, I'm just picking the more inside chain to start on. And then I'm going to stick my hook into that hole and stick my hook into this loop and pull this loop through, and then chain 1. And then I'm going to insert my hook into the second loop or second stitch and the second stitch of my strap and pull up a loop through both sides and then slip stitch. And the same thing with the last one. Let me remove my stitch marker. So I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch and insert my hook into the last stitch of my strap, like that, and then pull up a loop and pull the loop through that one and slip stitch, and from there I'm going to chain 1 and tie off. So this is what it looks like, and the back side. I still have to weave in my strings, but this is what the back side looks like. So it turned out pretty cute. And I'm going to stop this video here and make a part 2 on the lacy border that I'm going to do, but you can totally stop here and you do have a bralette, a really cute one at this point. So I'll make a separate video for the lace, okay?